Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this right here.
Yes.
Tell us about your car.
Well, this is my second car actually. I got it my sophomore year in high school. My mom and I, we paid just a little bit less than $9,000 for this car. Actually had 9,000 miles on it. I paid half and she paid half. I drove it all through high school, all through college, which was 5 years, all through grad school, which is another 2 years. So from 82 to 91, this was my car, and it went through a lot. went through a lot of stories in this car. Finally got my first job, first full-time job, I should say, where I had some income and time to get a new car. And I went to trade this thing in, and the dealership said, well, we'll give you like $500 for this Trans Am. I'm come from a large family. All my uncles growing up, they always said they wish they would have kept their first car. So anyway, I said, yeah, for $500, I'm going to keep it. I parked it at Mom's out in the barn and kept the mice out of it. Started it when I went home for the holidays. I started saving money. About 20 years later, I had enough money put away and pulled it out of the barn and restored it.
What type of car?
It's a 1981 Pontiac Trans Am, not a Firebird. It's a Pontiac Trans Am.
Hey, how about this? How about we go for a ride and take a trip down memory lane?
Awesome, that'd be great.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Great.
All right.
Woo! I gotta get my seatbelt on here.
So where'd you grow up, and talk about your introduction into the game of football?
I grew up in a town called Woodward, Oklahoma.
Okay.
It's up in the Panhandle of the state. A town probably the same size as Athens. Great community. Probably agriculture is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
A lot of ranches, farms. Athletic piece of this is kind of funny. I was probably riding a horse before I was riding a bike, probably.
Wow.
You know, I mean that's a fact. I mean,
Yeah.
my first trophy was from a rodeo.
Wow.
I grew up in the kind of middle of town, and to take the shortcut, it's probably a block and a half. It's called Kids Inc.
Okay.
And that's where all the, football, basketball, track and field, all the activities were growing up.
What high school?
It was high school was Woodward High School.
Okay.
Elementary was Westwood, and I would walk home and get my schoolwork done, and then I was headed to Kids Inc.
What was the Tim Albin scouting report as a football player back in high school? What'd you play? What position?
In high school, we played safety and receiver. Okay. Our style of offense in high school was wing T. I mean, I caught more passes in one game in college than I caught in my entire career in high school. And I go to Northwestern as a wide receiver. And
It's NAI?
At the time, it was an NAI school.
In Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma, yeah. About 60 miles from where I grew up.
When did you realize that you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, I tell you that coaches and throughout my whole life, Little League, junior high, high school, they've influenced me, impacted me. Just as far as the things that you go through in life, ups and downs, and you brush yourself off and get back up on the horse and keep going. Probably my sophomore, junior year in college, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna miss the locker room. I'm gonna miss it. And I thought, this is something I can take my story and maybe impact others. I've been very fortunate. My junior high coach is in the Hall of Fame, Tom Merklin. My high school coach, Milt Bassett. Both my coordinators in high school are in the Hall of Fame.
Wow. My
college coach is in the Hall of Fame. Coach Solich is soon to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Everybody I've worked for, all right, Craig Bowl.
Wow.
He'll at some point in time be in the Football Hall of Fame. So I've been fortunate. I've been around great men.
Your coaching journey, where did your coaching journey start?
Northeastern State, Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Tom Eckert, who I still talk to once a month. Got the job, and off I went.
A young Tim Albin coach, what did you learn the most?
There was a point in time where, hey, you know what? I'm going to, I want to win. and do the best I can and move up the ladder. As I progressed after 5 or 6 years, I came to the realization that, hey, you know, especially when I had children of my own, my passion was the same, but my approach definitely changed. I just started really caring about, hey, what's going on in their lives off the field?
Yes.
How can I, you know, take my story?
Love that.
How can I take my story and apply it, and I can share it with them, and they can take some of my life lessons and use in their lives.
We're on Court Street right now, so I do want to take a quick pivot to the community, the town of Athens. What have you learned about this town since you got here?
Well, this 19 years I've been here. It's a very diverse community, and they damn sure support Ohio University.
Oh yeah.
And whatever it is.
By the way, it's a smooth ride. I'm enjoying this.
Not bad.
This car is absolutely outstanding. Talk about your first coaching stint. Where to after that?
Okay, after Northeastern, then I got invited back to my alma mater, and they'd kind of fallen on hard times. It's a tough one because at Northeastern we were returning a great football team. I mean, we returned everybody on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
The quarterback was a really good player. We had a chance to make a run.
Wow.
And I you know, I've been there 5 years total.
Yeah.
And I thought we're going to have a chance to be really good.
Uh-huh.
And I knew it was going to be a tough go at my alma mater, you know, for at least a couple of years. And I molded around for a good month and thought, yeah, I probably, you know, it's back to my alma mater, and I'd been gone 5 years. I thought, okay, let's try it. Well, so I go. We won one game first year. Won one game. Northeastern State won the national championship.
Oh my goodness.
And I tell Coach Ecker all the time. I was in tears. He was in tears when I told him I was leaving. But I felt like, you know, hey, I helped build that team. Year two, we went 5-5, and then won 8 games. Coach Lohman retired, and I got to become the head coach. You know, and then Coach Solich, you know, we patterned our offense and defense really off Nebraska. It's probably a 5.5 hour drive north of Alva. I mean, the end in our helmets was the same, exactly the same. We'd go up there. I started going up there.
Just on a whim?
That's a great story. My high school coach, defense coordinator, who I mentioned earlier, Larry Derrick's his name, Hall of Fame coach, very close with, left Woodward, was in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Okay. And I stayed in contact with, I was recruiting. Lawton was one of my areas. And he ended up coaching Kai Caesar. He was Kai Caesar's defense coordinator.
That?
Okay.
Wow.
Hagen Meserve and Kai Caesar were teammates all the way up through junior high. So I knew Hagen when he was like, you know, 10. The course of the year, we're at the high school he was coaching at in Lawton, they had sent Will Shields to Nebraska.
Okay.
NFL Hall of Fame, Mike Minner. Okay. They sent some great teams, and they'd sent 2 or 3 guys to Nebraska. They drive almost right through Alba to get to Lincoln. I met him, Coach Solich. I said, hey, let me jump in the back. I want to go up there with you. Through recruiting, they knew me like, you know, I was one of the guys.
Okay.
I just wasn't on staff.
Yeah.
So I recruited their players. All right. So I said, look, well, hey, I want to go. I went up there and just sat in the back of the room and started taking notes, and went back with them every time they went, which is every summer. And then I got to know Milt Tenneper, and then Coach Solich became the head coach. And I told, hey, Coach Tenneper, you know, at age 30 or 31, hey, grad assistant opportunity ever opened up. And sure enough, it did.
Yeah.
I've heard Coach Solich say this, you know, Tim just kept coming around where the only way I could get, I just said, well, let's just hire him. He's always here. It worked out pretty well, you know, as far as scheme wise. You know, I learned a lot of football, and made some great friendships with the staff.
So you were, it's not like they were always asking you to come up. You were kind of
bringing
yourself.
Yeah.
And that folks, show up. That's just the moral of the story.
Yeah,
just show
that's
up.
exactly right.
First word that comes to mind when you think of Coach Solich.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Just a great man. He's been great to me, Brooke, Tori, and Trace, and through the years. I know there were times that throughout the course here in Athens where there were opportunities to move on, and, you know, for a few extra dollars. but the family piece and the quality of work life that Coach has always been about in Lincoln and here is huge to me and to Brooke and I.
It's not a 9 to 5.
No, no, it is not. No, it is not 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's not. After Nebraska, where did you go?
Okay, we were let go at Nebraska, and Craig Bowl was the defensive coordinator there. Took the head job at North Dakota State in Fargo. Had called me, and I was, you know, it's a tough time in my life.
Were you feeling doubt?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had my dream job, just built a home. I mean, literally moved into it. Was in the house for 3 months and win 10 games and then get let go. And that was probably the toughest time of my life. I mean, I knew I wanted to coach. I just didn't know the direction. And Coach Bowl he'd come to see me multiple times. You know, called me, hey Tim, you need to brush yourself off and get back up on that horse. And he says, you and Brooke, bring the kids up and to Fargo. It's about a 6-hour drive. We did it, fell in love with the place, and it was a very important. It's one of those forks in the road you come to, you know. And he pushed me through it.
Wow. How long were you at North Dakota?
Well, I was there 1 season.
Okay.
In Fargo. What a great city.
Yeah.
And then Coach Solich, he set out that year and did some visiting himself, some different programs, and called me and Jimmy. We were the coordinators together there with Craig, and said, hey, I'm thinking about taking the job at Ohio University. You interested in coming as coordinators? Whew. You know, and you know, of course, you know, absolutely, Coach.
Yeah.
And so here we are, coming here with Coach Solich. There wasn't a lot of wins. Coach was very excited about the direction and of the program with the new president, Roderick McDavis. So we get down here and roll our sleeves up and go to work. And the first thing is, I think he gets the team to believe. You know, Coach he uses that word, you know, about believing in themselves. Then we start getting the bowl games, and they start becoming, you know, a yearly thing. You go to Peden Stadium, and it's sold out every Saturday game. Game days are electric here.
This is one of your favorite spots, right? Yeah, you're good.
The South Green is one of my favorite spots. The spring here is unbelievable. The cherry blossoms are out. You know, this will be packed with students. Right down there at basketball courts, we have some epic games.
Do you like to turn on any music when you drive this thing?
I do. I got. Let me see. I probably have some Zeppelin in.
There we go.
Yeah, you know. So, yeah. So.
I like that. Is this what you listen to on the way to game day?
Sometimes.
Okay.
You know, sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s guy. I went through junior high, high school, college, and grad school all in the 80s. Yeah. So I'm like a huge hairband. You know, and Zeppelin's before my time, but I respect the history.
Who is Tim Albin off the field? Who are you as a person, an everyday guy?
When I'm not work, my favorite place is to be home with my family. Be with my wife. I love her dearly. She's done an unbelievable job with my children. Hey, okay, they got this. This time, this is where we got to be. Yeah. You know, hey, Tori's got volleyball. You're taking her. Yeah. I got Trace. You know, but she's been a great job on organize all that. Now my kids are out of the house, and so Brooke and we got some time on our hands. You know, yeah. We got a wonderful dog. You know, Macy. Me off the field. I hope there's not really any difference how I am coaching or working, and then how I am at home. If you're doing it for a loving and not a living, it's not really work.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. It's been awesome to hear your journey from Oklahoma to, you know, winning a national championship, NAIA national championship in 1999, and you were a cross country men's and women's cross country coach, right?
I was. I was in men's and women's track and field at Northeastern, my first job as well, and then when I went back to my alma mater in Northwestern, I also did the same thing. And we actually won 4 straight conference titles in track and field as a head coach. Two at Tahlequah in Northeastern, and then when I went to Northwestern, won 2 back to back.
Coach, folks out there, we really appreciate your time. Thanks for man, this ride has been Awesome. I hope it's not the last time I'm in this. I hope it's not the last time I'm in this car, man. This is something special.
Next time I'll let you take it for a spin. Just to be sure to wear your seatbelt.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Go Bobcats.
Yes, sir. Go Bobcats. Thank you.